Yes. Will you heat up my wings? Okay, bye. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a Q&A. I asked on Instagram if you guys could ask me some questions, and I was a little bit nervous because I thought no one was going to ask me anything. Get a frame. They're all over the place, so I think that's good, so that way I can kind of do a little bit of everything. And yeah, I've never done a Q&A. I don't think I've even done one on Instagram because I've always been afraid of, like, what if no one asked me anything? But yeah, so I also have no makeup on today because I just feel like it's no need. I'm not going to waste makeup to record a video, so yeah, I ain't gonna do it. But anyways, let me get into the questions, and if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about me, then keep on watching. Okay, so the first question is, any baby names for either gender? So we do have baby names. We have a boy and a girl name in mind, as well as like the middle name, so we both have them, but I will not say them until baby's here. And if you know us, you know that we all have A names. All of our names start with an A. So yes, our next baby will be an A name as well. I feel like we started with Arya and then with Noel. Well, his name is Andres Noel, if you guys don't know, he goes by his middle name. But it started with Arya, and then we knew that Noel was going to be a junior if he was a boy. So he is, so he got Andy's initials, and now I feel like the third baby just has to have an A name, or I would feel kind of like, I don't know. I just don't want the baby to feel left out. So yeah, we do have baby names, and it will be an A name as well. An A name as well. Okay, next question. Has it been easy having to relocate often because of military? How have the kids adapted? So it's been easy as an adult. As a spouse, yes, it is hard to make friends, but once you make friends, it's easy. You have friends all over the world pretty much, or at least all over the US. I don't think I have anybody that I know of outside of the country, but yeah, it's easy as an adult. For the kids, it's harder. For Noel, obviously it's not hard for him, but with Arya, especially with this last move that we did, she had friends established, she had friends at school established, and then we moved here, and then COVID happened, so she couldn't go to school, so it was really hard on her to make friends when we first moved out here. So it's hard on them because they miss their friends. They don't know why they have to move so often. We tell her because of daddy's job, but it's hard to comprehend that, I think, when you're younger too. So it's kind of heartbreaking seeing your kids go through that, but other than that, it's not a huge, I guess it's not a huge adjustment because we're used to it. If we were like regular, like my husband had a regular civilian job and we moved, I think it would be harder because it's unexpected. But since we kind of go into this knowing we're not going to be here for so long, I guess our expectations are a little bit lower. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Of course, when my kids are like in middle school and high school, they'll probably like hate me for this. But Andy doesn't plan on being in that long. So yeah, that was like a little bit of a rant. But next question. So far, what's your fave state? So definitely Colorado has been my favorite state. My husband has been stationed in Tennessee, Fort Campbell, Colorado, Fort Carson, and now J-Bear, Alaska. And I will say, like, Alaska is beautiful. I think everybody should come visit Alaska. It's like, it's a beautiful state. Do I like living here? No, because I'm a brat. I like shopping. I like good food. Alaska takes forever to ship. Like 2 weeks. Some places won't even ship here at some retailers. So for that reason, I just don't like Alaska. I miss like my Home Goods, my TJ Maxx, my Marshalls, my Ross. I miss my Chick-fil-A, my Chipotle. And for some people, that's just not a big deal. To me, it is. I am a city girl, I guess. I do like the outdoors. I like hiking. I love hiking, actually. It's one of my favorite things to do outdoors is hiking and seeing new things. But, excuse me, I had all that in Colorado, plus all my favorite stores, all my favorite food. So yeah, Colorado is beautiful, and it's definitely one of my favorite states. So what's one thing you'll be doing differently this time around besides home birth? So I was thinking about this question, and I was like, I'm not really doing anything different besides like not buying anything, because we don't know the gender, but I saved everything from Aria and Noel, so I have boy and girl stuff easily available. And I actually thought about this. The one thing that I am doing differently this time around is I am encapsulating my placenta. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty much turning your placenta into like pills, and I heard it has really good benefits for you and baby if you're breastfeeding. I heard it helps with postpartum depression, so I'm gonna need that because the lack of sun here, I feel like I can easily fall into that more than ever before. So yeah, that's the one thing I'm doing differently this time around, and I'm excited to see if it'll make a difference, because of my last two I didn't do that. So I'm gonna see how it works out this time around. Next question: how do you manage alone time with hubby while not having family around, like dates and such? So in Colorado, we were super fortunate that I had a girlfriend who would watch my kids that I trusted. We were able to go to concerts. We would be able to go to date nights, to the bars, just us two. Now that we moved, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, obviously, because then I have to build that trust with somebody again, and it's just going to be harder because I have a newborn, so we probably won't be doing anything crazy for at least for the first 6 months or so. But what I do recommend is finding a girlfriend that you trust. Like now I have a friend that I met here, and I trust her, and I love her, so we have talked about doing, like, I'll watch her kids for one date night and she'll watch my kids for the next weekend or whatever. That way we don't have to pay for a sitter, and also we're getting that alone time. But what I will say, like during quarantine, with everything was closed, me and Andy would do date nights at home. So we would get canvases from Michael's and paint, and look up YouTube videos on how to paint, like do like a sip, what are they called, sip and paint at home. And we were doing that during quarantine. We were hanging out, drinking. I mean, that's how we, like, with some wine, just to relax at the end of the week. Obviously if you're not a drinker, then that's probably not going to be for you, but that's how we would unwind at the end of the night, and at the end of the week, actually. Obviously not every night, I wish. But yeah, that's how we would get our date nights and such. And I think for the most part, that's all you really can do right now during COVID. So yeah, just pick at least once a month and hang out with your man or your spouse, whatever, and without that interruption of like kids and everything, because that's hard on you and your husband, or you and your spouse. Parenting is hard. What I'm trying to say is parenting is hard. Make the time at least once a month. That's what I try to do. Now, since I'm pregnant, all we do is watch a movie. We did trilogy movies while I'm pregnant, like laying in bed and just like getting into like X-Men, Marvel. We did Harry Potter. We did the Twilight series. We did the Matrix series. So I think just even like watching a movie together uninterrupted is nice, and we've done that pretty much. We would watch like a trilogy movie like every week, like one movie we do this week. I don't know, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's how we manage. That was a long answer to the question. But next question. How long does Andy plan to be in the army, and what are your plans after living, etc.? So originally when Andy first joined, I think this is pretty much everybody, they kind of want to do the 20 years and reap the benefits of doing the 20 years. But he's been trying to change his job in the military for like 4 years now, and it's just getting harder and harder, and the chances are becoming slimmer and slimmer as he like the longer he stays in. So if nothing changes between now and 2023, when his contract ends, he will be getting out. I don't know what he's going to be doing. He has some ideas in mind. He has like a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So we have multiple plans. Hopefully we don't have to go through any of them, and plan A works out. We want to hopefully go back to Colorado. So that would be his main location when applying for jobs, would be Colorado. And then he has like Arizona, Texas, Nevada in mind. States that are affordable to live in. I don't think we'll be back in California, because it's just too damn expensive, and we want to be able to live our life without working to live, kind of thing. So yeah, we hopefully everything goes as planned, and in 2023 he will be out, and I cannot wait because the military pisses me off as a spouse, so I can't imagine how much it pisses him off. So yeah, that's our situation. And the next question is, why did you decide home birth? Good luck, and I love your content. Went to middle school with you. Oh, thank you so much. I always think like no one watches my stuff and I'm just like posting for no reason. But then I get people who are like, oh, I watched your video, and it makes me like super happy. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And what made me choose home birth? So I've always wanted a home birth since I had Aria. I watched the documentary. It was on Netflix at the time. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore. It was like 5 years ago when I was pregnant with her. It's called The Business of Being Born. It pretty much shows how doctors make money off of C-sections and why they push C-sections and all this stuff up. Everyone has their different views, but when I watched it, I was shook, and I really wanted to have a home birth, and I was just scared, to be honest. I was a first-time mom. I didn't know what birth and labor and all that was going to be, so I didn't want to chance it. And also at the time, my insurance, TRICARE, did not cover home births in my area. I was in Tennessee. They covered a birth center, but that birth center was an hour and a half away. And being a first-time mom, that scared the shit out of me. So I was like, no, I'll deliver on base at Fort Campbell. And that's what I did. And then with my second one, I really wanted to do a home birth. I saw a midwife and everything. Talked to her about it. We had plans. And I ended up, I think it was like 15 weeks, ended up switching to a hospital because I hemorrhaged with Aria. If you don't know what hemorrhaging means, it means you bleed while like after the delivery. And so I bled a lot with her. I needed a blood transfusion. So I didn't want to risk it the second time with Noel. And then the second time I did hemorrhage a little bit, but they were able to control it with medications when I gave birth to Noel at the hospital. Third time here, there's so many birth centers and so many midwives here in Alaska. It's a very, I would say, crunchy, hippie type vibe around birth. So when I moved out here, I had so many options. And also I spoke with my midwife, and she basically told me, yes, you know, you have a chance of hemorrhaging again, but also the precautions they take are the same precautions and same medications they would use in a hospital. Another thing is COVID. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here, and I was already 15 weeks pregnant. And so I was freaking out, wondering who was going to watch my kids while I was going to give birth. I need someone I can call like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and if I'm in labor, and they would accept my kids and watch them, because if you don't know, the restrictions in the hospital are super strict. You can only have one person there. As of now, I've heard some people can't even have one when it was really bad. So some moms had to deliver alone, which is very unfortunate. So that scared me, because I know if no one was able to watch my kids, Andy would have to stay home with the kids, and then I would have to deliver alone. And we've been fortunate enough that my husband has never missed a birth, and I didn't want him to miss it because of COVID, versus him being deployed or something like that. So that was a reason why I decided to home birth. And also I had an unmedicated birth with Noel, and it was very uncomfortable in the hospital because they kept wanting me to stay in one position. And if you've ever been in labor and had labor pains, you know how uncomfortable it is to stay in one position. You need to move your body. You need to let your body do its thing. What was comfortable for me, I wasn't able to be in that position. So it was really annoying. And I just like the thought of being in my own space, letting my body do what it's doing without having that, I don't know, those restrictions, I guess. So yeah. So main reasons were comfort, and then COVID, having my family around me, and yeah, those are the main reasons. Next question. I'm out of breath, guys. I'm out of breath. I'm 36 weeks today, but yeah. Okay, what made you decide to not know the gender this time around? So again, I always wanted to do it, but I've always been impatient. I'm like the most impatient person. If you know me, I'm super impatient. With Aria, I found out at like 12 weeks at a private gender or a private ultrasound place, and I paid out of pocket because I was so anxious to find out what I was having. So with her, I found out really early, and then again with Noel, we had a daughter, so we really wanted a boy, and I was anxious to find out with him. And now that having my third, we have our pair. So this one is just kind of like a cherry on top. either gender we're gonna be happy. We didn't really have a gender preference. I mean, either way we're gonna be happy as long as baby's healthy. So we just decided not to find out. I kind of gave Andy like no choice. I kind of told him, I was like, no, we're not finding out. He wanted to find out because he says that he gets like an attachment, like my baby girl, my baby boy. But he's actually happy. He said that he's super excited for labor because he knows he's gonna cry because he's gonna be the one announcing the gender when I give birth. So he's happy now, but I think at first he was like, yeah, I didn't give him a choice. Pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much why we decided not to find out. Next question, are you having a virtual baby shower? So when I first got pregnant, it was during COVID. My mom was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do virtual baby shower. But we've had a lot of sad, unfortunate things happen in our family. So there's just a lot going on. And to be honest, I don't need a baby shower. I have a lot of stuff already. The only thing we would need is like diapers and wipes. But everything else I pretty much have. So we won't be having a virtual baby shower. Next question, how hard has it been gathering clothes with no gender? So surprisingly, I don't think it's been, I haven't bought anything really. I just bought like plain onesies, like white onesies. So that's not hard at all. But lean back. A lot of like Instagram boutiques and Instagram shops, like it's aesthetically pleasing to do like neutral colors and gender neutral colors. So I don't think it's hard at all to find like gender neutral clothes. If you go to Walmart and Target, a lot of the times you won't find stuff just because they like to blast like pink and tutus on everything. And then for boys, they'll do like dinosaurs and trucks. So if you go to those stores, it's going to be a little bit harder. But definitely if you shop like small shops and like those Instagram pages, they have a lot of gender neutral because it's like, it's just the vibe right now. Everyone's into like aesthetically pleasing clothes and stuff. So I don't think it's really that hard so far. And I haven't had to buy any just because I have so many girl and boy stuff. I feel kind of bad because I really haven't bought anything for this baby. But I really don't need to because I have so much. But yeah, next question. When are y'all moving back to Colorado? I wish I could say like this year, like 2021, but probably not till 2023 if we can afford it, because Colorado is getting so damn expensive. Makes me wish that we wouldn't have sold our house, but at the time it was the best decision for us because we sold it and paid off a lot of our debts. So it was the best thing for us at the time, but the housing market has increased like crazy. I still get notifications from my realtor of like houses in the area. I'm like, damn, y'all getting expensive out there. So hopefully we can still afford Colorado when we move back in 2023 if we can. Like if Andy finds a good job over there. So hopefully we will. I'm hoping that we can because I love Colorado and I loved raising my babies over there. Okay, what would you say to your 18-year-old you? This is a good question. 18-year-old me, I wouldn't say anything that would change anything that's happened in my life. I think I would just tell myself, love yourself. There's no need to like compare. There's no need to judge yourself. You are perfect the way you are. I've always had problems with like body image and I don't know why. I'm like, girl, why? So it's just telling myself that there's no need to compare myself to anybody. I am myself and I am proud and you're beautiful. Pretty much just stuff to reassure myself that, I don't know, not reassure myself, but just tell myself how great of a person I am and stop doubting myself. Because if I would have done things with the confidence that I have now, I feel like I could have gone a lot further in a lot of aspects in life. But it's never too late. So yeah, I think just telling myself like how proud I am of myself and things like that, just helping with like self-doubt and all those things that you deal with when you're 18. Of course, it's something that a lot of people go through and you just have to like go through it to understand. So I don't know if even telling myself that would make a difference, but yeah, I think that's what I would say. Next question, how will you approach the talk with your children? Get comfortable because this baby's sitting on my bladder. So the talk, I was very fortunate growing up that my mom talked to me about the talk at a young age. Before I even had my period, I knew what to expect. And when I went to high school, I knew about the birds and the bees. So my approach would just be exactly how my mom approached it. I keep hearing shit. She put me, when I had my first boyfriend in high school, she put me on birth control, and thank the Lord that she did, because who knows where I would end up right now. And I've always been comfortable telling her. I told her when I lost my V card. I told her when situations happened at school, as far as like rumors and stuff, and she was always welcoming, opening, and gave me advice that was that was needed as a young adult. So I just feel like the same way that my mom approached it is the same way I'm going to approach it to my kids. I want them to be able to come to me with anything if they have a problem. If they're dealing with a certain situation, I want them to be able to come to me and nobody else. So the same way I'm going to approach it, the same, I guess. I also plan to talk to like Arya, especially. She's my oldest, probably around like 9 or 10. I just plan to have an open conversation with her as soon as possible when she starts getting curious. That's how I plan to approach all that. Okay, next question. What are your views and feelings about everything that has been happening in the news? So, if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I feel like you kind of know where my views are at. Oh, I just made my nose really red. And I think it's blatantly obvious that this country has a problem, and I'm really happy that we have a new president, because I feel like it's time to heal from the last 4 years that we dealt with this bullshit. We can move on and hopefully heal, because that's what we need to do. We need to heal from the last 4 years. But it's just scary, and it's hard when you have kids, especially because you want the best for them, and when you are living in a shithole, you kind of almost feel bad that they have to live in this kind of life, in this kind of world. But the one thing I can do myself is teach my kids how to love everyone, how to respect everyone, of course until they're disrespected, but just live their life with love. And one thing that I learned myself is to stay soft. What that meaning, I've got this from if you follow Still Glamorous. I love her channel, but she's always talking about staying soft. No matter how hard and cruel the world can be, it's important to stay soft and stay true to you. I'm not a confrontational person, of course, unless I have to be, but I choose to live my life in staying soft and staying hopeful, welcoming, and forgiving. So that's my motto for my kids as well. No matter how cruel this world can be to you, it's important to just stay soft and stay true to you, and don't let the hard and cruel people turn you into a hard and cruel people, and just lead with love. So it's kind of a long little answer to that, but those are my feelings, and those are the only things that I can do, is create and bring up better children who will be greater adults. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this and getting to know me a little bit more. I am 36 weeks pregnant today, so I will be giving birth soon. I want to do like my setup for my home birth as my next video, so hopefully I can get that up before I give birth, because I've been lagging. I've been so exhausted, but this is just getting into a big ass ramble. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, and have a great day.